This video is for 4.2, the standard solving equations in factored form. You can tell these are in factored form because you see these parentheses here with a number on the outside. And this is very close to what we've been doing before. There's just one extra step. With the distributive property, you can take this outside number, and we call this expanding when we multiply the outside number by all of the terms on the inside. So we'll start with 4 times 3x, which is 12x, and 4 times negative 2, which is negative 8. So right now I haven't done anything to solve the equation. I'm just simplifying this factored side. So now it's expanded, it's in expanded form, and it looks the same as the equations we solved in previous lessons. We have connected to the x, we have a minus 8 and a times 12. I'm going to do my inverse operations and do opposite and balance it out on the other side. So I add 8 to both sides. I end up with 24 on the right and 12x on the left. So you can see this is turning out to be just like we're used to. I use opposites and balance to solve the equation the rest of the way. Now sometimes there's a second option when you see an equation like this. When there's nothing else attached and it's just a single factored expression here on the left, you have this option where instead of expanding the 4, this is 4 times the quantity, 3x minus 2, I can just start with dividing both sides by 4. And that will eliminate this multiply by 4 here. They cancel each other out. 16 divided by 4 is 4. And now I'm left with the equation 3x minus 2 equals 4. And you would use your inverse operations to solve from there. You'd add 2 to both sides and divide both sides by 3. You end up with the same answer. Now that does not work. That method does not work if you have something else over on the left side. If it was 4x plus 4 times the quantity, 3x minus 2. Now, dividing by 4, well, let's make this a 9. Now dividing by 4 on both sides is not going to do, it's not going to eliminate this 4 and leave you with nice numbers like it did. So I wouldn't use that second option on this. Only if this piece is the only thing you have. If you've got other stuff hooked on, then I would use the first method by expanding using the distributive property. Okay, let's look at one more example here. Sometimes when you expand, you're left with some simplifying to do. So we're going to do our same first step here. We're going to expand this factored piece right here. 3 times 4x is 12x. And then 3 times negative 1 is negative 3. And everything else I just wrote as it was. All I did on that first step was expand this factored piece. So now you see I have some like terms on the same side here. I have that 12x and I have the negative 7x. So sometimes you have to simplify before you can solve. So I have 12x minus 7x. That gives me 5x when I combine those like terms. And here we are back again to a simple solving equation problem. I'm doing my opposites and my balance. So here I've got 5x equals 20. Divide both sides by 5. You get x equals 4. So on that particular equation, the steps I used here is I did step 1 was to expand. And I did that expanding with the distributive property up here. Step 2 was to simplify, and you saw that when I combined the like terms, the 12x minus the 7x. And then we're back to simple solving equation. So step 3 is just to solve. And that is solving equations in factored form.